This day 740 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If I can sponsor come share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, you directly be very greatly appreciated. Still a day or two behind, but catching up. Here we're doing Simon Tov from Gimel, Sifcha Beis, till the end, which is Sifcha Tes. Vani Omer, Chabeis. Vani Omer says, "Oh, Gam Davos Rabbigon should be a Rosh Hashanah Zel Lashana." That there's a chimutz shimur, not just the shame mitzvah, but a pragmatic shimur, shame that shouldn't be chametz. Rav Hagon says, according to Rosh, Rav Hagon says, "Because of matzah shafal eno Yehudi, and that's was baked by non-Jew, livnei Yisrael in front of a Jew, and the shimur kedikuna by properly safeguarding it. Test Yisrael lochla, a Jew allowed to eat it. Because Rosh said the bali ma'isa machmir atzon kagoyim ma'machmir chmirin, l'ashim ofim ba'atzmam. The bali ma'isa, people who do these and shame shayim machmir themselves, like the onim were machmir and knead and bake themselves. They already had difficulty explaining what Rav Hagon means. It has to be l'shma. How can you do it through? How can you not do it through a Jew? That's clear. It's really the ain't got any l'shma cloud. Obviously, it doesn't only matter of l'shma. L'shma chametz and matter safeguard from the chametz. But it doesn't make a difference who makes it. A long brackets here. Tema Rabba, it's astonishing to l'shmor chitim shilti b'yidei matzah. They have to watch the wheat with which yotze the matzah, yotze mitzvah matzah. Eifo ra'ah pariv v'chitim sheyotze b'yidei matzah. Where did he say Riv mention anything about the matzah using to be yotze the mitzvah? Harifa koymei pesach. The Riv is going all days of pesach. Mishum shadori a posher beinam. But since the matter was clear as right, so Rachel Chayv Aslayla Rishonahu, the Torah. So it was posher. It could only be done about the first night. Feel because again, that's why he wrote this. And also he requires some analysis. So not Magin Mishal Kazav is but the Magin Mishal writes, when it's called by Lochas, Lobati Rabbeinu Shemchilik, Ben Amatzah, Shabbat Arisha, was the Matzah the first time, the Matzah Shabbat Mechel Shayim Beis, and the Matzah eats the other nights of days of Beis Arkan Shoro, the Tark Bazen, Mark Mishnah Fitzman's time explained this, which goes on that Vorim Mob Vorim. According to what we wrote, it is clear this way, the Duke. Sometimes in terms of actual practical halacha. Someone wants to appropriately fulfill the obligation of matzah as appropriate. He's got a shmur, meaning that the wheat was safeguarded from the time of harvesting for all the days of Pesach. And let's say das a riva Rambam Bagon, in order to fulfill the opinions of the Rif and the Rambam Bagon. Levad zeh liktzor miktsas lishma. Besides that, which is safeguarding from chametz, also you have to harvest some lishma, l'shem matzahs mitzvah, for the purpose of matzahs mitzvah, l'lushar for the first night, l'toch lishma, and grind lishma, l'ashal, l'afaysa, and to knead it and to bake it hakol lishma yidei yisrael gadol, by a Jew who is an adult. Shazo shitas Rashi, tesis v'rosh, v'tuva shulchan aruch ravaka mani mashiltas v'abahak. All those who share them other way. El sheish poskim b'kirava davka mishas ketzira, or those poskim like rava specifically from the time of harvesting. Those who pass like the other opinion. The dye, mishas, tchina, it's enough of the time grinding, arachafia, after baking. Some behold that it's enough to do lishma from the time of kneading, which Madam says as we have explained. Those are long brackets. Parsha test, yesh the machlokes, the measure tanoim is such machlokes. Then Hashem says the shmatim is the matzos, watch the matzos. Shemer shel to be they psul. Watch them, it shouldn't become puzzle, invalid. Come over here, they said tabach til tush b'tzanim. If the bread starts rising, you have to pat it down with cold water. That's like with Rambam that you have to watch it and become chametz. As a mitzvos. It says you should be watch the mitzvos, which only taking that God it's mitzvah right? Zel Karashi places, but he holds that no, shmartim as mitzvos means that you have to watch the matzah lishma. And which is afterwards, this drush, it's just like you shouldn't make the matzah come chametz, you shouldn't make a mitzvah come chametz, el nimba mitzvah yadcha aseo samiyad, a mitzvah comes here and do it immediately. It's an old drush. That's a different drush. Interesting approach. I ain't sure. Chavdav, it's not a gemara. You knew how to rinse the wheat, klama shtafa mayim, meaning to rinse them in water, and yet at the same time watch them so yachmitz and shim chametz. No kvar obi me rabbanan savaroi shon mesivasa. But the rain days rabbanan savaroi. After the right of the Gemara, they sent a message from the Mesivta, then it became Mosisa. We don't know how to do this. We can't rinse whether wheat or barley. So in Gambi the Gemara also, even though barley is tougher, it's also according to the law of the Gemara. Oh no, the other way around. Wheat is tougher. They ain't rocking the chitim. They're softer than wheat. It's quicker. Therefore, all of Am Yisrael makes matzah only from wheat, because it's hard. A chemical and the dough, the flour is hard. He said, "Any bekas kokach," and the dough is not so clingy. But in the chitim mine today, if you have wheat in which water fell on a machzik mosam, the chametz, we assume that they are absolute chametz. Kosher and shari means full. Certainly other types of grains, going shifon, such as rice, going korin, besorim, and barley, and oats. Shari says with yabit. Even even didn't loosen the seams of the bags, you don't answer the flour. It sounds like even within Pesach it can be mekel. Chayonim says if it's found within the seams something like a dry dough, then even the evidence also even before Pesach. Okay, I'm not sure how much that helped. Because basically that seems to be in the wrong place. Okay, it's supposed to be in the next sif. Hey, sacks in which you put the flour the whole year. Even put the flour at one time. For us, the cops only want to now launder. If you put in the Pesach flour, so you have to first undo the laundering of all the seams. And also the edges. Flows, if they have patches, and move them before laundering. Launder very, very well. And then to sew them back together and put the patches again. Better to make clean cloth sacks if possible. Because in fact, those who want to say that even if you launder and undo the seams, it's still awesome. Because the flour sticks to them strongly, like glue. Ella Shane Aloha came, but that's not the Aloha Bain, a minute, and that's in the minute. Shame is Shavshin or something, because we scrub them very well. They should start baby because you have to be very careful in laundering them. You like to feel so I feel B'diavad and well, if you didn't remove the seams, even B'diavad, laundering doesn't work. But some person do I think Shayaba Kemach Pesach, Shanazu, Shanabo, and so it comes some. Also, if even had Pesach flour 1 year, but the next year you want to use it again, you have to, and you need to launder again. So that here, you have to remove the seams. And that the Mishnah says, but the Evid, if you didn't remove the seams, don't ask for the flour, even during Pesach. Adam says if you found in the seams some sort of substance like dry dough, even the Evid also you pay for Pesach also. Makes much more sense now. When you bring the sacks from the mill on top of an animal, not in a wagon. You have to be careful not to put it on the animal's body. But you put under the sack a saddle or av or a thick piece of leather, or beggar av or a thick piece of cloth. The look as if not, the sack is going to get wet from the sweat of the animal. It's true that the sweat of an animal doesn't seem like water. Never should not be lenient. Because even say it's like a fruit juice. That later on, when water comes on them, when you start kneading the dough, having it's like a fruit juice with water, which there's opinion, which we'll see sometimes some base, and it speeds up the chametz process. It's true, it's possible to say that this sweats as it dries up until nightfall. It's not a problem next day when you need the dough. And there's no fruit juice with water. But you have to say this anyway. The locator, if not, how do the two near parrots allow where mice chewed on the wheat? Because it's like fruit juice. At the time you need the dough, the saliva will get together with water and make it It's quicker. About Kong circle, my Yabba say, Kamosh Kam, the grind is average, already became dry. Kokam, I was still say, it's clean, nevertheless, you can't be put yourself in a situation like that where you have to rely on the sweat going dry. And if you did do that, Mishnah says you have to wait 2 hours before you actually use the flour. But saying a little shadows that cloud by us is not relevant. We use wagons, they use trucks. But be careful. Tapi robos is money slugging. Very often, when at the time you're milling the flour, there is snow and rain. Let's see about going mapatim. You have to put into the wagon mats or sacking tacos or sacks under the sacks of the paste of flour. Sacking mills on top of the sacks. Cover them well. Especially now that we ship a great distance by railroad, sometimes it's loaded or unloaded. So here, be very careful. He says stocking covering the sacks in the old mode, pretty much. Anybody who's not careful about this, it causes the masses to stumble. And the sins of the masses are his problem, and he's going to provide for them. His sins are on his bones. So he's careful with this. He's borach mina shamayim. We bless from heaven. Shouldn't stack a lot of sacks with paste of flour on top of each other possible. Today we ship massive amounts of cargo. It's not possible to be careful about this. The truth is no concern with this. The only reason because the heat, then they lie each other. If then you remove it and heat it immediately, they're going to become they're going to be hot. And come to fermentation. You don't start right away. There's several days will pass until the time you actually do the kneading. Beside this we see clearly the sakim shalom, our sack, where the flour is packed in tight. And the sacks are smooth. There's no heating. It doesn't get heated. Besides this, from the time it's taken the time it's taken to the baker, several hours will pass and the heat can subside. We don't have to be concerned at all. Is not so maker. He says if you did put sacks on top of each other, you gotta wait 24 hours. You must wait 24 hours. Our custom is to clean the mills. Shouldn't see me also by two sodas because they put rinsed grain to make it fine flour. The custom is that the first flour, which is milled after cleaning the mill, show me also they don't use the matzah, use it after Pesach. And people who are meticulous in their deeds go themselves to the mills. It's a bonus that you should be take care of it more than your agent. And they themselves supervise the grinding of their flour. Mishra Tune says even if by grinding it's enough to have somebody stand there, it has to be Yisrael Gadol, don't you? You can't go on its own. Upon him. They should see at the very least. She'ez ben teire is a material kill should be there based on the time of grinding. Because of those right when you grind, rinse the grain. You shouldn't grind anything any grain in that house for Pesach, even with another mill. Says that because the flour dust goes from place to place. A child should not be given to watch the mills. If there's no dust, it's okay. And this mission actually said you need to go to Army Agab if cotton's not good enough. If there's no dust, it's okay. But several halachos about how be careful with the mill. The cloud can't specify everything in writing. Especially in our days, there's several machines which use for grinding. People are conversant with the process, have to check it every place where it might come to ferment. Even whether it's because of moisture, because the dough which gets compacted there, whether because of the heat. why it's mentioned here, and extrapolate for himself. Because it's Hashgachas Talmid Chacham Be'elokim also requires the supervision of a Talmid Chacham Yisrael Shamayim. Chav says, Tzarich Litchon Chitim Yom Yomayim V'nei Achlisha. You have to grind the wheat a day or two before the kneading. Kadesh Yiskar Kema, so that the flour should cool down. Some say Gimel Yomi 3 days. Some say overnight is enough. You could say Meisleis Lo Pachos. Arukh HaShulchan says not less than 25 hours. Mishnah says not less than one night overnight. It's preferable to have 48 hours. But the Evid, even 0 hours. Im talking about Arpesa, but you ground Arpesa, some say she also come the Evid, which bear Yom Arpesa, it's even also the Evid, if you need it, the don Arpesa. Because the flour at the time you grind it is boiling. Heats up the water by Isa and the dough. It's easy to become chametz. Those say the gam zeb the Evid ain't a cave that the Evid even this is okay. Because we sift the flour before we knead it, and it cools down. Which was the Greek. It says even you sift it, it doesn't cool down. The shown to be very place game mash related to the chimum anyway, from the post it sounds like if it's heated up without water, it doesn't become chametz. Speaks to Lamar. Because they say, "My used to be shown per gimel so lochav. They have mafkil to chunai. Lo mitan kupaya. Elaine alain lo yitachun chamon." That he commanded, like we saw before, not to put sacks in the bishah, that they shouldn't get hot and become chametz. And come they retir chabatz. It's not kavana because it gets hot in of itself. And they retir chabat ma'in shachar, but rather because it gets hot and then you put water afterwards.